Individuals, including well-known musical artists,
Shout it out,
kidnapped and
family.
robbed at gunpoint numerous victims at a music studio in Dallas, Texas. 8 of the 9 were arrested yesterday in Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. These individuals who are charged and arrested include Lontrell Williams Jr., also known as Pooh Shiesty.
It was several hours before sunup when they first heard a boom. It was then followed by shouting of from the agents who were saying that they were certainly executing a search warrant. I can tell you, after that boom, there was a back door that was breached.
It sounded like Gucci cooperated. It sounded like the victim. Gucci was a victim and gave his testimony.
That's a fact.
Come on over here with me, Gucci. It's all right. It's all right to go and be civilian. Yeah. Come on. Yeah, this ain't that ain't yeah. Come on over here with me, Gucci.
The Memphis boys turned Big Gooch, Big LaFleur into a civilian. Turned him into a civilian.
Large things would pop off a federal search warrant of Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty's home on April 1st, 2026. The next day, the United States Attorney for Northern Texas would announce 9 individuals, including well-known rappers, were federally charged with kidnapping and robbing at gunpoint numerous victims at a music studio in Dallas, Texas. 8 of the 9 were arrested in one day, including Memphis rapper Lontrell Williams Jr., aka Pooh Shiesty, his father Lontrell Williams Sr., Memphis rapper Rodney Wright, aka Big 30, and 6 others. A 32-page sealed criminal complaint would state on January 10th, 2026, at approximately 4:50 p.m., 3 victims were kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint at a music studio. The criminal complaint would list the 3 victims by their initials, RD, MM, and BP. But we all know RD is Roderick Davis, the 46-year-old Atlanta rap legend known as Gucci Mane.
Man, that's how you know. That is not Gucci. The Gucci right here in this picture, Big LaFleur, big Scoochie. That's Gucci. Scoochie? This would have never even went down with Scoochie. Scoochie man, Gucci? Nah. Gucci, this new Gucci version, yeah. That's like, he basically robbed a federal agent. Why would you rob this new Gucci? Knowing this dude is straight plant, straight informant, straight everything. You're tripping, boy. Awareness of these dudes is low. Like, that'd be the problem. Dudes' awareness be shot, bro. Like, for real. Get these dudes in the table and give them some guns and they just ready to do shit on a whim. They don't even think. They're not even thinking before their actions. Not in knowledge precedes speech and action, right? And they ain't using neither.
Maine. At approximately 1 p.m. that day, the victims flew into Dallas alongside Gucci's head of security and an additional security officer for a scheduled meeting with Pooh Shiesty, who'd been signed to Gucci's 1017 label since 2021. The meeting was scheduled because Shiesty was upset with the terms of his contract and wished to be released from the label, so he asked Gucci to meet about business. At approximately 1:45, Gucci and his team arrived at the meeting location, a music recording studio within a larger office building. Upon entering the building, they realized the recording studio was closed. In the meantime, they went to a nearby liquor store. Pooh Shiesty's father, who's more commonly known throughout the streets of Memphis as Mob Boss, ran an independent label named Mob Ties Records. Boss would call the owner of the Dallas recording studio at 2:53 p.m., trying to book the studio for Shiesty and Gucci to record music.
Oh, Lord, 8 Mob Ties, Jay Prince of them? That's not... Am I tripping or is it another Mob Ties out here?
This was over an hour after Gucci had already arrived. 22 minutes after the call, the studio was open to Gucci and his team. A short time later, Mob Boss could be seen on surveillance video speaking on his cell phone outside the building before entering. At 3:39, a production employee would arrive while Pooh Shiesty and his father were standing at the back of the office building, engaged in what appeared to be an argument over the phone. Just minutes later, Shiesty, along with his father, Big 30, and 6 others would enter the east side of the building, walking through the lobby and into the studio. One of the suspects at a later time can be seen exiting before shortly returning with a bag slung over his shoulder. All 9 suspects entered the studio's control room, where inside the victims were watching a football game. Gucci's head of security was positioned in the lobby, while the other guard remained in the vehicle. The victims overheard Pooh Shiesty talking on his cell phone, possibly with his federal parole officer, stating that his caseworker had given him permission to be out on rec time, from what the victims could.
Hold on, none just wasn't on the phone with the parole about to go line up Gucci Man right afterwards. That's ridiculous.
Here, Shiesty was told on the phone that was not the case, and he needed to return immediately, to which he agreed. At the time, Shiesty was wearing an ankle monitor. Gucci would tell Shiesty they can reschedule their studio session, but Shiesty asked to speak with Gucci privately in the attached recording room. Gucci would enter the room with Pooh Shiesty, his father, and Big 30. The 2 other victims would remain with the 6 suspects, even offering them drinks as 2 of the suspects accepted and poured up. Inside the booth, Shiesty pulled out a contract termination letter telling Gucci to sign it, releasing him from the label. Gucci refused, Shiesty became agitated, and the 2 began to argue. The 2 victims could see the conversation play out, and one of them saw the conversation intensifying.
So hold on. So allegedly, he wanted to get out what they saying is that Pooh Shiesty wanted to get out the deal with Gucci because allegedly your boy CMG, Yo Gotti, offered Pooh Shiesty like 15 million to sign. So, and Pooh Shiesty was saying how Gucci wasn't looking out for the family when he was in jail, so he came home, he wanted to get up out of there, he wanted to go do it with his other Memphis boy. And that's how that was supposed to go, allegedly. So this is why he was trying to get out the contract in the first place, you know? He had bigger bags to chase, more or less.
Security who was still in the lobby.
So he thought.
While arguing, Shiesty instructed Big 30 to get his bag. Quick pause, because this might actually help you out. If you've ever needed access to your money before your direct depositing it out, signing the paper while Shiesty's father and Big 30 stood by. Big 30 took out his cell phone and recorded Gucci signing the paperwork while being forced to say he replied, saying that he signed the contract release paperwork. Gucci, now being held at gunpoint and unable to leave the room, complied, signing the paper while Shiesty's father and Big 30 stood by. Big 30 took out his cell phone and recorded Gucci signing the paperwork while being forced to say he released Pooh Shiesty from his contract. After signing, Pooh Shiesty would take Gucci's wedding ring, watch, earrings, and whatever cash he had on him. Shiesty then handed the paperwork to
Shiesty is top slime for real. It was not a joke. This was not a game when he was talking all that slime shit. Some people just be talking. They was already up robbing and sliming dudes out in foreign cars. You know what I mean? Already doing that, leaving behind bags of 30,000 cash. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude ain't nothing gonna satisfy him. He lived for that. You know? Boom, you could have just made that happen. Not only you go in there, you went in there on some death row shit, Suge Knight shit, like you was Big Suge himself. They could pull that right out of Suge Knight book. Am I lying? Who was the one that, something that happened with Eazy-E? Yeah, do your research on that. Facts. He pulled that right out of Suge Knight book. But even then, once that man signed, y'all should have just got up out of there. You ain't have to book him. Like, what would you get out of that? Where was you gonna get? You wanted war. You wanted to take it there, honestly.
His father asking him if it was good, to which he replied, it needs to be dated. So Shiesty forced Gucci to write the date next to his signature. As Shiesty, 30, and Mob Boss exited the recording room, the 6 remaining suspects pulled handguns, AR, and AK pistols and began robbing Gucci's 2 associates.
Wow.
One victim, identified only as BP, would have his pockets ran and his wallet removed by who he identified as CMO Damn Fool, one of Shiesty's goons. His 1017 chain would be taken by another man he knew as Glizzy 375. Glizzy would repeatedly threaten to shoot him for moving, but Shiesty would instruct him not to. According to the victim's statement to police, he witnessed Big 30 pointing a cell phone at Gucci within the booth, but assumed he was taking pictures for social media. Victim BP further identified Baby Slime 375 for holding him and others at gunpoint. Victim BP and victim MM would identify KD 375, who they also recognized, as he can be seen on social media with Pooh Shiesty. KD would also hold them at gunpoint. Victim MM is rumored to be Matt Marzal, who goes by the name Multi-Mars. He's a Chicago-based photographer and has been Gucci's personal cameraman for years. It was also Matt who texted Gucci's head of security when he saw the conversation within the recording booth intensifying.
Oh, so
Matt was choked from behind almost to the point of losing consciousness, resulting in scratches to his neck and wrist. He'd be robbed of his Rolex watch, a Louis Vuitton bag containing multiple high-end watches, and his wallet. He confirmed to police his Louis bag, wallet, and AirPods all had an Apple AirTag attached, and he was also able to identify his robber by his Instagram handle of Twin CMO. While the robbery was taking place, Big 30 walked to the door leading to the lobby, closing it and blocking it with his body, preventing the victims from leaving. But Gucci's security would see what was taking place. Both of Gucci's security guards would draw guns, attempting to force themselves in as they partially opened the door, only to see that they were greatly outgunned. Gucci was pushed onto a couch, causing the victims to believe they were going to be executed. Shiesty placed the barrel of his Draco to the back of BP's head, ordering him and Gucci to leave the studio through the west side of the building. Gucci then instructed his security to escort them to their vehicle. As the victims left, Gucci's cameraman turned to Pooh Shiesty and asked if they were really taking his watches. Matt would provide police with the last AirTag location.
Is we really taking these watches? These niggas be crazy, boy. Like, at the end of the day, though, if Gucci ain't do nothing physically to Pooh Shiesty dead ass wrong for that. So at the end of the day, Gucci the nigga that put you on, for real. He put you on the map. You know, yeah, that's the regular talk with all this. Is, oh, he put him on, he put him on, he put him on. But at the end of the day, he put that boy on. Like, I could see if he ain't went out, you had to hold him at gunpoint to get out that contract, but robbing him, you took it too far. That's when you took it federal. That shit was a whole movie in there. You hear how they talking? Just ran in there, kicked doors, fucking security came back, guns out. They must have pointed the guns at the security. Threw niggas on the couch, put guns to the heads. They was wilding in there. They was wilding. They kept this quiet for mad long. And
which was revealed to be the parking lot of an apartment leased to Pooh Shiesty's father, where Pooh is believed to have been residing in Frisco, Texas. Federal investigators would recover photos of the suspect vehicles, a white Buick Enclave, a black Hellcat, and a black Dodge Ram with a roll bar. According to law enforcement databases, Big 30's father owns a 2020 Dodge Hellcat in Tennessee, and license plate readers would place it in Texas during the relevant time period of the robbery and traveling with the two other suspect vehicles. The white Enclave was found to be a rental, rented by none other than Shiesty's dad. Federal investigators would find surveillance video of Shiesty's dad at a Staples, printing out what they believed to be the release contract an hour before he arrived at the studio. The feds would also link all suspects together by cell phone GPS coordinates and would reveal Shiesty's goons were so poor, 4 of them would have to take a Greyhound bus from Texas back to Memphis, Tennessee. Now remember when the victims offered Shiesty's goons drinks? A left ring finger and right thumbprint would identify the 2 suspects that took drinks as they left their prints on the red cups.
Silly
The
rabbits.
victims obviously knew who Pooh Shiesty was, and Gucci Mane would be listed as one of the victims.
Or maybe it wasn't even supposed to go that far. If they was doing that and really drinking with no gloves on, it ain't like they gonna come in there knowing they about to back the whole situation and then start taking drinks with no gloves on. Then what, back the situation and put the gloves on? I don't think they did that. I think it could have got out of hand, you know? I think he could have just really was heated about the situation. Pooh might have been heated about the situation and really wanted to just get out that contract. And when Gucci said no, and they argued, shit went left. Regular shit.
Who identified Shiesty as wearing a Nike mask and hoodie during the robbery. Gucci would also name Big 30 and identify him by his Instagram.
Gucci would
In fact, almost every suspect was able to be identified by their Instagram handles.
Wow.
KD would be described as Shiesty's right-hand man. Damn Fool lives up to his name, as he could be seen leaving wearing Gucci's cameraman's Louis bag. He'd then post a video to Instagram wearing one of the stolen watches, and another picture would show him wearing the same sneakers worn in the robbery.
Yeah, damn
Who
fool.
choked out the cameraman would post multiple pictures of another stolen watch and even the 1017 chain that was taken. Shiesty and his team executed a coordinated armed recording studio takeover, temporarily kidnapping fucking Gucci Mane, robbing the shit out of him and his team, making his security look like bitches, and leaving the scene without firing a single shot.
What if your rent could pay itself? Dropshipping with Ali Dropship is simple from day one.
Security look like bitches, and leaving the scene without firing a single shot.
They did that.
Only
like,
for Gucci and his team to fully cooperate with police, leading to a federal takedown and kidnapping charges.
At the end of the day.
More charges can be expected, as yet again Pooh Shiesty is alleged to be a felon in possession of another Draco after having just finished a prison sentence for shooting someone in the ass with a Draco. All 9 suspects will be facing life in federal prison for conspiring to and committing kidnapping. And I can only imagine what else the feds can add on with all the firepower and priors they had. It will also be interesting to see who chooses to cooperate against who, as Pooh Shiesty's father is no stranger to the feds. Back in 2007, Mob Boss was indicted on drug charges and would be sentenced to 70 months in prison after receiving a 5K1 sentencing reduction and future cooperation with the government, meaning he was snitching and agreed to keep snitching. So this whole fucking case is snitch nasty.
What happened?
There's dumbass people talking about something. I need the birth certificate and social security to change his name after they spelled it wrong.
You're not changing it. You're correcting it.
To do it the first time. I didn't even need it for y'all to do it the first time.
Why you ain't tell me take the pictures, the folder right there?
Because she said she needs the birth certificate and the social still. I told her I didn't get it yet. She was like, well, it's been almost a month, so you should get it soon. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. I didn't need it for you to give me the card, and I can't use it because it's not his correct name.
Right.
It's not. That's not him. So I can't.
Right.
Hey, I can't put insurance in it.
Right. This is not even him. Like,
Exactly.
you need to give me my sons. That's what you should have told him. Like,
this
is not even him.
She's like, oh, just give him the number for now. I'm like, no, I can't do that because that's not even him. That's not his name, so that's not him. And I'm not about to get insurance fraud because it's not him. There's probably an Amari Terry out there.
Right.
You don't know. An Amari, you don't know that. I'm not about to do that. Put bills in somebody's name, that's not, I don't have time for that. Ellis calling me and Medicaid calling me because Ellis wants, they need to bill they need to bill it to his thing from the hospital. They're feeding him to put the bed somewhere.
Hey, what that pay?
Exactly. People, the Medicaid people, they're calling me because they need his Medicaid numbers, but I can't give them those numbers because it's not him. That's not his name on the Medicaid card. That's assigned to that number. So now I'm just at a standstill. Until I get the birth certificate and social. Which is funny because this is basically what happened last time. And I didn't have insurance for email. I ended up calling CPS. Because I'm not going to, like I said, it's about to be a month. His first doctor appointment is about to come up. And I'm not going to have no insurance.
Pattern.
Last time, it wasn't that they spelled his name wrong. They just was taking forever to send the birth certificate. So we ain't getting it. So who knows how long it is.
Damn, I didn't even pause this. I fucked this whole video up.
She just fucked over Atlanta as the most rat-infested city in hip-hop, adding himself to the list of snitches after Young Thug gave investigators the longest interview of his career. Gunna flipped on Thug. Gunna did Crime Stoppers. T.I. started the Crime Stoppers wave, and Gucci is best friends with QCP. Gucci would even jump on live after the federal takedown was announced, and you'd think he'd talk about how he's far from the streets and too rich to abide by them like QCP did. But instead, Gucci was talking about the exact opposite, saying he'll smoke whoever steps to him, he doesn't believe in telling the police shit, and he's keeping it street. The exact opposite of what he did.
You step to me, I'ma smoke you. Yeah, I ain't gonna tell nobody, not even the police. I don't believe in none of that shit. Only thing I believe in is don't tell the police. Keep it in the street.
Some are even now pointing out Gucci's old interview speaking on Jeezy, trying to get him killed.
So that situation that we were just talking about with the charges and so forth, do you feel like it was a setup because cats came like after you, like they was coming to get you?
That's
Yeah, I think it was a setup.
Do you have any indications on who it might be? Have you heard anything on the
They wouldn't have did that game like that.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, ain't too many people got the motive to do some shit like that. I just like a detective, learn, you know what I'm saying, look at the motive, who has motive to do it. And this fuck nigga, the only nigga has motive.
Jeezy.
Yeah. Okay. Straight up.
So it's real serious then when we talking about like actually trying to like set somebody to take someone's lives. It's on a whole nother level. It's past just the wax.
It's like I guess they scared of competition.
Now, Pooh Shiesty just fucked himself after committing the dumbest robbery with his dad being a whole government informant, and Big 30's big door blocking ass is now facing life just because he wanted to be there.
Big door blocking.
Never mind the goons that came up on watches but needed a bus pass to get home. A case that no one expected, and one of the fastest crash outs we've ever seen from a rapper fresh out of prison. This is likely the last time we'll ever see Pooh Shiesty in the free world.
Again, I can jack that 100%. Like, share, subscribe. See you later. Bye.